Hi and hello dear friends, welcome back once again to our channel Bage Academy of Mathematics. This session we have the question paper of 2015 December UGC NET paper 1, and as usual we are about to solve questions from arithmetic and reasoning part. We'll get into the questions. Question number 1 is from blood relations. Let's see what is there in the question. P and Q are brothers, R and S are sisters. Okay, fine. And it is given that the son of P is the brother of S. So we have another relation. So we have the first statement connecting P and Q, second statement connecting R and S, and the third statement connects P and S. Then the question, Q is related to R as what? This is the question. Fine. Let's get the approach. So here we have the relation between P and Q. Fine. So P and Q are brothers, R and S are sisters. So this is clearly giving us the first two informations statements are clearly giving us that P and Q are from the same generation and R and S are from the same generation. But we are not sure about what is the generation. I mean, whether these two generations itself are same or not. That information is not available or will not be able to predict it from the first two statements. But coming to the third statement, here we have a clear link between P and S. So let's do a thing. Let's just start from this third statement. Okay, the son of P is the brother of S. So let's start from there. The son of P is the brother of S. We'll have it like this. So let's have P here. P here is, we'll start from P. The son of P, so that means there's a son for P. Okay, fine. There's a son for P. Is the brother of S. Is the brother of S. So this means this P's son and S are from the same generations. And also it is very clear that if P's son is here and if this son's brother is S, then definitely what we can tell is, sure, S is also a son of P only. That's all right, because it is very clear that P's son is here, this male person, and once again this one. See here we have S to be the brother of this son. So that means S must be another person. I mean another son or another daughter of this P. Okay, yeah, fine. Now let's continue. Let's see what is there. Now we take the first information. P and Q are brothers. So that means P and Q, who are from the same generation, they are brothers. So that means P is a male and Q is also a male. So Q, P, they both are brothers, and one of them, P's son is here. One son, we are not aware of what's the name of that son. That is not important for us. And another person, I mean another child is there for P. Who is this S? Okay, yeah, fine. Now let's come connect this second one. R and S are sisters. Now this statement is clearly revealing that R and S are sisters and both being female. Very clear now. That's it. Now the question is very simple. Q is related to R as what? That means this Q is what for this R? That's all. This is the question. Okay. Now one thing we can again understand. P, if S is going to be the daughter of P, then what about this R? R again must be the daughter of P. Is it or not? Because this son, these two female, these two children, all of them are siblings. In that case, all three have their father to be P, and P's brother is what is this Q. So that means for R, how can we relate Q? R's father's brother is what is Q. That's it. So now this relation clearly tells the answer to this question. Q is related to R as what? So Q is none other than R's father's brother. That's all right. So in that case, how do we call father's brother? Father's brother, we relate them as uncle, which is option 1. That's all. Okay. Yes, fine. Let's move to the second question. Question number 2. Again, it is based on some kind of family. Question number 2. Let's see what is there in this question. Family members. We all have this. Okay, fine. A party was held in which a grandmother, a father, mother, 4 sons, their wives, and 1 son and 2 daughters for to each of those sons were present. So it seems it's a very big family. So finally, what is that asked in the question is the number of females present in the party is how many? This is the question. So a party is held and they start from the grandmother. Okay, fine. So let's also do the same thing. Grandmother. So grandmother, definitely a female. So a grandmother is there, then a father, mother is there. Okay. So this is grandmother, then father, mother. So that means that father and mother, they must be from the next generation. Yeah. So we will just write or just specify this father and mother. They are from the next generation. Okay. Father and mother. So mother, definitely another female. Father and mother. Okay. Yes, fine. And sure, what we can understand is this grandmother, this father and mother. This grandmother is from the first generation. This father and mother, they are from the next generation. Next, 4 sons. So father, mother, they have represented. Then 4 sons. 4 sons for this pair, this couple. Okay. So there are 4 sons. So we will have it like this: son 1, son 2, son 3, son 4. Definitely all 4 are going to be male. Then their wives, they're given. Their wives. So that means son 1 will represent as wife 1. For son 2, wife 2. Son 3, wife 3. And son 4, wife 4. And here again, we have got 4 females. Why I'm representing females is, see here, the question is asking us to find how many females are there in the family. That's the reason. And remember, these 4 sons are the sons of the previous generation, father and mother. So we start from the grandmother. For that grandmother, we have father and mother. I mean, this father and mother, they are from the next generation. And for this pair, we have 4 sons along with their 4 wives. And what next we have? And 1 son and 2 daughters for each sons. I mean, under this each son, we have 1 son and 2 daughters for each of them. Okay. So 1 son and 2 daughters. Again, 1 son, 2 daughters, 1 son, 2 daughters, 1 son, 2 daughters. This is all we have. So what next we are about to find is find the total number of females in the family. So far everything is perfect. So we start from this grandmother. Then we have a father and mother. For them we have 4 sons along with wives. So there will be 4 female here in this generation. And for each son, there are 1 son and 2 daughters. That's what here it is represented, right? 1 son and 2 daughters to each of the sons were present. This is how it is mentioned. And find the number of females. So let's just calculate number of females from each of these generation. Let us be clear with that. Yeah, get ready. So that means from this generation, we have how many female? Only 1 female, that grandmother. And here, that father and mother. Here, there's 1 female. And here, this generation, we have 4 female. Is it or not? Because 4 sons, each one's wife. So 4 female. And last one, this generation, we have 1 son, 2 daughters. 1 son, 2 daughters. That is 2 daughters, 2 daughters, 2 daughters, 2 daughters. So totally 8 females. So now I think we can get the total very easily. 8 plus 4 plus 1 plus 1 will be 14. So that means option 4, 14 is matching with our answer. This is the answer for this question. All right. So there's nothing big to discuss with the family members. Just it is important for us to note down the genders, how many female we have there. This is all we are dealing with. Yeah. Moving to the next question. Next question is based on average calculation. A group of 210 students appeared in some test. The mean of 1/3 of the students is found to be 60, and the mean of remaining students is found to be 78. Now, what is the mean of the whole group? So we have done many questions in our previous sessions, same in the same model. So let's repeat the same thing here again. So totally there are 210 students. The mean of 1/3 of the student. What do you mean by 1/3 of the students? So totally there are 210 students. 1/3 of them, which means 1/3 into 210, which would be nothing but, we know 3 sevens are 21. So that means 70. So for the 70 students, so for the first 70 students, how many students are there? The number here is 70. 70 students, we'll have it like this. For the first 70 students, the average is how much? It is given to be 60. It is given to be 60. Yes. See here, mean of 1/3 of the students is found to be 60. The mean of the remaining students is found to be 78. See, I know totally there are 210 students. There are totally 210. Out of which 70 students average we know, which is 60, it is given. Then remaining how many students will be there? 210 minus 70. That means 140 students remaining. For them, the average is given to be how much? 78. This is what is given. Then we are supposed to find the mean of the whole group. So the whole group in the sense for all those 210 students, what is the average? This is what we are supposed to calculate. Okay, yeah, let's do it carefully. So as usual, whenever we have number and average, what next we will try to find? The very next thing we'll try to find is total. Yeah, fine. So this is how we always start with, right? So whenever we need to find average, do total by number. And whenever we need to find total, just do number into average. So that means number is 60 here, number is 70 here, and average is 60 here. 70 into 60 will give the answer to be. But before that, let me just clear this side, this right hand side. Yeah, so that we'll have some extra space. Fine. So what is 70 into 60? 70 into 60 will be 4200. Is it or not? Because I know 7 6 are 42. So just insert 2 more zeros there, because we have 1 0 here and 1 0 here. That's why. Yes, proceed. So next one here, what would be the total? For 140 students, the average is 78. So 140 into 78 we are supposed to do. Let's do it very carefully. First, we will try to do 14 into 78, because that would itself give the answer. That's why. So 14 into 78, we'll try to do this calculation first. So for which 4 8s are 32. So 3 is a carry. Next, we have 1 8s are 8. 7 4s are 28, right? I'm just making a cross here. So 1 8s are 8. 7 4s are 28. So 28 plus 8 would be 36, and 36 plus this 3 will be 39. So put 9 here. Once again, 3 is the carry. And last step, 1 7s are. 1 7s are is 7. 7 plus 3 is 10. So overall, we are getting 1092. So 1092. And not over, we need to insert one more 0, because we are not multiplying just 14 into 78. We are multiplying 140 into 78, right? I just made a cross method and I did this calculation to get this answer. Let me explain it. I first did 4 8s are 32. Place 2, 3 is a carry. Then make a cross. 8 1s are 8. 4 7s are 28. 28 plus 8 gave me 36. 36 plus 3 is 39. So place 9 here. 3 is a carry. And once again do 1 7s are 7 plus 3 is 10. So 10920. This is what is the second total. And if I want to find the overall total, what I'm supposed to do? Just we have to add these two numbers. That's it, right? So 0, 2, this would be 11, 1 is a carry, and then 5, and then 1. That's all. 15120. So that means if we want to find the overall average, what we are supposed to do? There are 210 students. For all the 210 students, just now we got the overall total. Overall total is 15120 divided by, and how many students? 210 students. So 210. That's all. Okay. Let's simplify. Do this calculation. That will give the answer. First of all, 0 and 0. They will go off. And let's try to divide both these numbers by 7. So 7, we will have 7 3s are 21, and here this numerator we will have 7 7 2s are 14. I will have a balance 1, so that I will have 11. Again 7 1s are 7. I will have a balance 4. We have 42. Then 7 6 are 42. So we are getting 216 by 3. This division we can very easily do. 216 by 3 will be 72, because I know 3 7s are 21, 3 2s are 6. I got this 216, so 72. So overall answer for our question is 72. That's all. 72 is going to be the answer for this question. So what we actually did is, we took the two groups, we found their individual total, we added it, that gave the overall total, and overall total by overall number. That's what our question, right? That's what they're asking us to get in the question. Find the mean, I mean find the average of the whole group. In this sense, I have to take the overall total divided by the overall number. That we did. We got the answer 72, and that's the answer for this question. Yeah, clear. Last one more question we have. Let's try this question also. Here this question is from directions, question number 4. Let's see the question. Anil, after traveling 6 kilometer east. So once again, we should be clear with direction concept. We should be clear with the 4 directions. Always by default we go for north, pointing upwards. Then the right hand side would be east, left hand side would be west, this would be south. That's it. And once again, one more important thing is about the formula, which is c square equal to a square plus b square. And when are we supposed to use this formula? Whenever we end up with constructing a right angle triangle, in order to find the longest side, we have to use this formula, where that c is the longest side and a and b are the other two sides of the triangle, right? So please remember both of these things. They are not that tough to remember, very easy things only. Just be clear with the directions. And next is about this right angle triangle formula in order to find the missing side. That's it. Yes, now we move on to the question. Anil, after traveling 6 kilometer towards east. Okay, let's start it. So let's say Anil is starting from a point here, somewhere here. I'm choosing the middle of the screen so that I will have all possibilities to move along in all possible directions. That's why. Yeah, start from here. Anil, after traveling 6 kilometers towards east. So towards east in the sense, it would be the right hand side. Is it or not? See, this is our reference. Okay. Yeah. Anil is traveling 6 kilometers east. So let me pick the arrow here. So start from this point, 6 kilometer east. Okay, let's have it like this, around 6 kilometers. So 6 kilometers east, fine. He realized that he has traveled in a wrong direction. Okay, so after moving 6 kilometers from the starting point, there he is realizing that he is in a wrong direction. He turned and traveled 12 kilometers towards west. Now what happens is, after reaching this point, he's going to travel in the reverse direction, because it says he turned and traveled 12 kilometers towards west, because already he was traveling through east, correct, towards east. But now this time he's going to turn and then travel to west. But for how many kilometers? 12 kilometers. So let's again have one more arrow mark. So this arrow mark we will have from here till here. Okay. Yes, till here. Let's have it till here. I hope you are able to understand this. Yes. Yeah, let's have it till here. It's really important for us to just pick the point carefully, because the lines we need to have almost straight. That's the reason. So yeah, totally he's going to travel how much kilometers? He's going to travel for 12 kilometers. Remember, this total distance is 12. But remember from which point he started. Actually, he started from this point. Okay. Yeah, he started from here, he went like this, and then once again he is going like this. From this piece of information itself, we can clearly understand now the position where he is from this original starting point will be how much distance away? It would be 6 kilometers away. Why? Because he's going 6 here, then 12 back. So that means it is equivalent of traveling just 6 kilometers towards west. That's why. Okay. However, we'll continue the question. Okay, he traveled west. Then again, what happens? He turned right and traveled for 8 kilometers to reach his office. So now what happens is, from this point, once again, he's going to turn right. So again, we'll pick the arrow. Now he's here, he's turning to his right hand side. For a person who is going to face this direction, I mean west, right hand side would be nothing but it would be this side, right? Is it or not? Yeah, it would be here. I mean pointing towards north. So this direction is what he's going to travel, and for how much distance? It is given he's traveling 8 kilometers. Now the question is, from here to here, I mean, what is the straight line distance from his home to office? Because where he is starting, this is his home and this is his office. He is reaching the office, and the straight line distance is what they are asking, this distance. So let's just place an arrow mark here. Yeah, fine. Yes. So this dotted distance is how much? This is our question. So as usual, let's just take it to be C, and we very well know the formula. C square is equal to A square plus B square. So C square is equal to A and B. What are the values? It's very clear, 8 and 6. So C square will be equal to 8 square plus 6 square. So which would give us 8 square is 64, because I know 8 square is 8 8s are 64, and 6 square is 6 6 are 36. So that means it would give us 64 plus 36, which would be exactly 100. So if C square is 100, then C would be equal to exactly 10. Is it or not? Because if I multiply 10 into 10, I mean 10 square, if I do only, I will be getting 100. So that means C is equal to 10 is the answer. So that means the shortest, I mean the straight line distance from his home to office, the C value will be equal to 10, which is matching with option 2, and that is going to be the answer for this question. Yes, we have completed all 4 questions here. That's it. I hope you are able to understand all these questions. They are from little different varieties. You may have some doubts in the way of solving. Any doubts, you are most welcome to post it in the comments. You're welcome for that, and we'll see that we are helping you in clarifying the doubts. Again, in the next session, we'll have a different set of questions. See you there soon. Thank you so much. Bye.